Some of you might be asking, what in blue blazes is going on in the United States of America right now? And does its astrology as a nation give us information that will help us to better understand where we are and where we are going in the near future? So welcome, my name is Lydia Griffith. This is the Feng Shui and Bazi Chinese Astrology channel. On this channel, I often read the charts of famous people or countries in order to better understand our own lives and our own astrology. So welcome. If this sparks interest for you, please hit the bell, subscribe so you don't miss a single video. I try to put out at least 2 a week, sometimes 3, depending on what's happening in our world. The United States of America, we all know, was born July 4th, 1776 at 1713. That is the hour. So that was a long time ago. And so my notes for this are crazy. Lots and lots of notes on this. And where the United States is, this is a really big moment for this democracy. And having been a kids yoga teacher for nearly 20 years, even as I am now hosting women's retreats out of my home, it is helpful for me to kind of see all of us like preschoolers, because let's face it, many of us didn't learn those critical skills of sharing and kindness and empathy and compassion when we were young. Maybe we did, and life just pulled us into different directions and we became different people. But my analogy, and I love a good analogy, my analogy for the United States and what is going on right now is this. We have this massive, and again, we're in preschool, just to give you the idea. And there is this huge Lego castle that we have built, and it's massive, and a whole bunch of us, we're all gathered around, and we've put all this energy into it, and these few kids show up, and they walk over, they run over, and they start dismantling it violently. And we're just like kids screaming, "Oh my God, they're taking down my castle!" And there is no teacher in this classroom, unless you want to call on God and the universe and the cosmos. And I don't know that they can really do much for us here on Earth when it comes to all of this, but there we are. And we are witnessing the dismantling of our castle. Now you have a choice. We always have a choice in the moment of crisis, real or imagined, right? We have a choice. Usually I think it's 2. The first one is panic and give in to fear. This is the person, and this is not to shame or blame, just to identify the choices here. You can be somebody that says, I'm going to watch the news, I'm going to follow all of this, I am going to be daily inundated with this subject. It is all I talk about. I have nightmares about it. It's giving me anxiety. Now, maybe I'm going a little extreme, but you get what I'm saying. You can choose to plug into the fear and the horror of the dismantling of our country in this moment, okay? But you can also say, but what happens if we choose to look at all the Legos lying on the floor, pick them up, and start building something new. And my light just went out, which I always find interesting because my house is very dearly haunted. So, I would say that maybe I am not entirely surprised that my light just went out. Just saying, this is how we do it, okay? Yeah, it was just that my laptop went to sleep and so did the light. Wow, analogies everywhere today. All right, so this is the choice you have. You can scream and cry at the horror of your castle being dismantled. And you can also recognize, yes, this is very difficult. This is a hard moment. This is going to impact all of us, and the trickle-down effect of this is going to be something that will touch every one of us. And the thing I don't even want to use the word excited, but I'm curious how we are going to take all of our Legos that are lying on the ground and rebuild America, not back, forward to a new castle that is more innovative, more collaborative, more in community. This, my friends, is the moment, and we're seeing this around the United States. People coalitioning, collaborating, coming together in community to rise up. Now, you can rise up with placards and your voice and hit the streets. You can also start working behind the scenes to create in your own community new ways to rebuild that which you are most passionate about, okay? And that might be any topic, from the environment to neurodiversity and gay rights and all kinds of things. Take the energy that you are currently putting into fear and horror, which is not serving you or your nervous system at all, and possibly your friendships and relationships. Take that energy, wrap it around whatever those things are, those subjects that you are most passionate about. Find your people and collaborate, unionize, get together, and begin to see a new way forward. Okay? That's my message. But we're going to keep going because I haven't even touched on the astrology of the United States. But I wanted to open with that bit of wisdom for you. And I hope that that is helpful, right? So the United States, and I'll hold this up, though I can't even apologize for the mess of my notes. Let's see, there we go. All right. And it is a mess of notes. Like I said, you know, country's a few hundred years old. It's a baby compared to the rest of the world. The year is the Yang Fire Monkey, which shows, and I'm going to break this down because I haven't really done a full USA read in a while, and I can post all the ones before. But isn't it interesting to redo things sometimes because new information may come from spirit and channel through me. And we also, through time, developed the ability to see more, okay? But I've started looking at the year also more through the ancestral code. So we see a Yang Fire Monkey. This is our ancestral code. This is where we come from. And, you know, a fire monkey is, whoa, that is innovation, right? That is the collective, our elders, the people that founded this country and where they came from. This is like a rallying cry. And I often have said, when you put fire and metal together, especially in yang form, this is the igniting of a gunfire. This is a rally cry. This is a revolution. And what are we born from? The Revolutionary War, where we got freed from England. I'm hoping that my history is right. That was not my strong suit in school. Then the month, this is our parent. This is England, you could say, is Yangwood horse. And the horse, we know, is very passionate, independent, and freedom loving. This is what we are born from. Is this not interesting, right? Freedom loving, independent. The day, this is the people of the United States, yin, earth, ox. The ox are the hardest working people, stubborn as shit, will dig down deep, but these had, the work ethic is really strong here. Tough, tenacious. The hour is our work and our children, our youth, the generations coming up. Okay, this is yin water rooster. So the youth in this country often are outspoken, right? They want to be seen, they want to be heard, they want to flaunt their talents. And isn't that part of what people come to the United States for? The opportunity, right? The opportunity for success. The rooster is also bold and sassy as hell, and wants to show off its talents. Can be cocky, arrogant, right? So when you look at the 5 elements and the way that we are balanced or imbalanced, we come off as a strong nation. Fire is strongly balanced at 27%. Earth, the element representing ourselves, strong at 30%. What gives us the impetus to create, innovate, produce? Metal is balanced at 17%. Water, the element that we control and the element that allows us to prosper as a nation, to manifest, just balanced at 15%. Wood is our weakest element, and this is the element that controls us. Therefore, thought comes to mind checks and balances. The thought comes to mind a misuse of power because we don't have enough groundedness. It can also show a weakness towards our labor force, our ability to sustain employment. So when you have a weakness of element, what we look for in the year astrology and or your luck cycle astrology is the element that we most need. Okay? So water is called the helpful god in this situation because it is necessary to have the mother element, the parental element, to the needed element in order to foster its growth. You can't just add wood and expect it to grow all on its own. It needs to be nurtured. So water and wood are the ideal elements to help us along. And if you want a quick history lesson here, the first luck cycle began immediately in 1777. As we were an infant nation, yin wood sheep is the first luck cycle that we had. And that yin wood was exactly what we needed to spearhead a revolutionary awakening of opportunity for people here in the United States. So it begins there, okay? And it's interesting because the sheep is so creative. It really shows. And then, you know, from there we went into a monkey luck cycle, which is very innovative, creative, solving problems, figuring things out. Then it was like, I mean, I'm not obviously going to cover all these luck cycles, but then in 1797, we went from the monkey into the rooster. A flaunting of talents. People starting to immigrate here in order to have the opportunity to be seen, heard, and flaunt those talents. It's very interesting, isn't it? All right, fast forward. This now moment. What's shaking? What's shaking in the United States is we are coming to the end of a luck cycle. Okay, now I will admit an error. I kept thinking next year we were going into a new luck cycle, but actually it's 2027. And I find it interesting that I have had 2026 so in my head with this country because I still see something pretty profound happening in this coming year when we're just getting into this one. And I don't want to push us too far ahead because there's so much happening right now. I know you're not going to argue with that. So this year is a Yinwood snake year. All right, let's take a look, right? Now I have already covered some of this in the beginning, just a few months ago. I did what's going on, the forecast for USA 2025, but I want you to understand how this year began for the United States. So we have a new president in his second term. And I said it, he would come in like a wrecking ball. And I also said in the astrology for February that we were having a very rough start to 2025. Because of the fire penalty, a collective fire penalty with the tiger that is the zodiac animal of February and the snake of 2025. This fire penalty, my friends, is the signature that is going to, I think, track through this year. It is part of the massive transformation we are experiencing personally and collectively. Okay? This fire penalty is hitting with the monkey of our year. Okay? Our current luck cycle is the sheep. So we're going to set that aside. That is not a current part of what I want to be talking about. The bigger piece here is the fire penalty. And I'm going to get more into the fire penalty, and I have a whole video specific to that penalty that I'll put a link to in the description. It's a really important thing to understand, especially if in your own Bazi Chinese astrology, you have a tiger and a monkey or a snake, any of those combinations, okay? You will feel this far more personally this year. And depending on where those zodiac animals might fall in your 4 pillars, year, month, day, or hour, will depend on what aspect of your life is taking this hit, okay? So if you haven't had your chart read, it is not a big expense. Honest to God, it is so worth it. I love doing the written chart because it gives you something tangible you can always refer back to. Now, it's also groovy to do the virtual reading where we sit down for an hour and I give you all the scoop. And you do get a video of that. So I'll put a link to those as well. It's important to know, friends, what your astrology is for the year because it helps you to navigate it more successfully, far more successfully than if you're blindly walking through your days. Okay? All right. February 2025, we started the year with a fire penalty that for the United States was full, meaning the monkey, the tiger, and the snake formed a full fire penalty that speaks to major legal shit going on. Have we seen that? In spades. Health issues, measles outbreak in Texas. Okay? It's loss of work. Like tens of thousands of government workers are unemployed now. Hundreds of thousands, maybe. I don't know. It's insane. It's shocking. I will admit that is shocking. What we're seeing is shocking. So this is exactly what a fire penalty looks like when it's playing out. All right. And every day in February that we had a monkey day, a snake day, or a tiger day only fueled this astrology, making it that much more effective in its undoing. And again, this is about health. It is about money. It is about your wealth, your ability to be sovereign. It is about your very life force. Look at how many people passed away in the month of February, of all ages, all over the world. And it's about the law. If you ask me, the astrology of February is going to be a narrative that you can arc like a rainbow over this year. Okay? That being said, the yin wood speaks of the bully in the classroom, being pushed, people being critical, people being judgy, obstinate. This is again collective astrology impacting people in America. And it speaks of, in addition to the personality type of this kind of bully in the classroom, is a jolt to our workforce, a jolt to employment, how people are able to work. So you see, you take this astrology with this penalty, and you could see how this is shaping. Then the snake of this year. So this is the whole year. Yin wood snake is this whole year a shifting of employment. And this feeling of somebody being critical of, judging of, putting pressure or oppressing people. The snake, fire, the yang fire speaks of government and law. government and law. Tucked inside the snake, because there's, I don't want to get complicated because I don't want to lose you here, but each piece of each pillar represents 12.5%, so that the 4 pillars equals 100%, right? Makes sense. So the snake is 7.5% yang fire, and then 2.5% yang earth, and 2.5% yang metal. So when I say in videos tucked inside, it's a hidden quality, all right? It's not the overt element that we're most feeling. It's the part that's hidden underneath the fire, these little bits of earth and metal. The earth speaks of a re-identification of self, playing new roles, but it's underground. It's something that's percolating behind the scenes, a re-identification of this country. And I'm going to come back to that in just a moment because that's important. And the last piece is profound, revolutionary, rebellious energy for change that is transformative. This is alchemical, what's going on, okay? Yes, we are feeling the day-to-day pulse of this, the reality of this, but astrology gives us the pulse and the energy of what's really going on. Now, the reason I said hold the phone is this. 2017 to 2027 is about the United States and how it identifies with itself. That is it. This 10 years, 2017, think about who was president then. And then think about where we are now. And think about how the United States has been identifying with itself. How does it find its confidence? How does it remain independent? How does it find its allies? How does it collaborate and partner with others in order to sustain its sense of identity? It is a yin earth sheep. Okay? And the sheep is, in and of itself, a zodiac animal that speaks of innovation, creativity, the arts, peacekeeping. And it also speaks of a hidden shift in our employment, a hidden shift in how we feel pressured to perform as a nation. But the snake is the opposite to the ox, and your day pillar is everything to who you are. And as a nation, and I've read several, I've read Israel and Russia and Ukraine and France. I think I did France. Maybe I just worked on it. Anyway, that's a really long one because France is very, very, very old. So the ox and the sheep since 2017 have been battling it out, which is a direct hit to the people of the United States, our sovereign selves. And because this luck cycle has been about our identity, it is like our identity is under attack. it is being threatened. And the other thing, this is such interesting astrology to me, and look at that. We are falling asleep again over here. Thank you for working with me. I am not a techie person per se, but we do our best. All right. So, the fact that the United States is in the condition that it is right now, and it is by far, it is a condition, right? And just like you and I, we are transitory. We are ever changing. We can hope. We don't ever want to become stagnant. No country can be stagnant. We are in a constant change. That is what we know. The thing is that as the sheep has banged up against us since 2017, it is breaking open that which is hidden. And what did I talk about? A revolution. Wait, let me come back to this. Not a revolution. This is our luck cycle. It is talking about how we are supported. Where do we get our funding? Things like Medicaid, Medicare, US aid, perfect example, okay? All of those have been severely hit in the last many years since 2017. In addition to our workforce, look what happened in 2020. Look at all the instances since 2017 that we have had change going on in our workforce, and certainly felt a measure of oppression intensifying. Okay, now when you look at our day master, what is opening up there? What is busting up there is the patriarchy. Okay, it is the patriarchy and our ability to take action, to be productive, to create. And I don't know about you, but as a creative person, it is super hard to keep that creative spark going when you have so much of your energy is being, you feel pushed down or you feel stressed. I don't know about you, but poetry doesn't ooze out of me when I'm freaking out about something, right? Maybe it does. So if you then jump to where we're going for March and April of this year, right? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Part of what I really want to instill in you, friends, is this: protect your nervous system. When you're in a fight or flight, freaking out mode, it's really hard to innovate and create, like I was just saying. Stay calm, find your people, rally together, and create that which is going to be part of our coming renaissance. Okay? So I'm going to talk about the next 2 months and then a little tip into 2026. And I think it might be helpful, and you can tell me in the comments if you would like me to continue giving monthly forecasts or a couple months ahead, if this is helpful for you. Okay? Speaking of comments, this is in no way political. I haven't even mentioned names, have I? This is about astrology. That's it. Please keep your comments kind and respectful. You want people to be kind and respectful to you. And so mirror that in all of your communication, all of it. And if you can't, catch yourself. Take a deep breath, wrap it around some love, and change your tone, and change your words, and change your action. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. That's how we start. If you want to start changing the world, friend, that's how you begin, okay? March is a yin earth rabbit. I just posted last week all the videos about March. Check them out. And the yin earth is America. This is us. This is the people. Confident, independent, collaborating, finding their allies. And the rabbit is about negotiation. It is about harmonizing. It is about saying, hey, 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 hey. Can we find a little accord in all of this? Is there a part where some of all the change that's going on slows down long enough that we can start figuring it out? Finding some balance on all this? The astrology goes like this. The yin wood speaks to, excuse me, the yin wood. All right, so this is kind of interesting. This is twofold, okay? This is the people, that's yin earth, sitting on top of yin wood, which is the rabbit. The thing that's so interesting with this, it's like the people standing on top of the workforce. This is the people rising up above the oppression, right? If it were flipped around, right? If that were a yin wood sheep, let's say, yin earth, it would be the other way around. It would be the oppression over the people. This is the other way. Are you motivated yet? Are you ready yet? Do you know what you're going to do? What are you going to do? Put it in the comments. I'm serious. What is your rally cry? What is that thing that you want to protect? Is it education? Is it gay rights, rights for people with neurodiversity? Is it protecting Social Security and social services? What is your thing? How can you affect change? How can you be a part of the narrative of the recreation of America new and improved? That's my great dream. Because out of destruction comes renewal. And we built this thing hundreds of years ago. Maybe this is this is why we're here living right now, you and me. That we chose this path. I'm reaching out my hand. Will you hold it? Will you walk with me? Because this matters. This matters. Yeah, I got emotional there. The rabbit of March for the astrology of the United States is the people rise up over the oppressor. I'm really curious to see how that works. And again, with the tone of the rabbit, that is all about harmonizing, negotiating, and finding that accord. So, from there, we come to the dragon. Now, the dragon is all about leadership and how we lead. It's going to be a yang metal dragon. And yang metal for the United States, just can't make this stuff up. This is kind of wild. Wow, wow, wow. Yang metal dragon, huh? Yeah, righty. Well, A yang metal dragon for the United States is this. The yang metal is a revolution. It is. So you remember how our lives are stories. So each month, we started with the fire penalty of February here. And all of that dismantling. Okay, and I don't need to repeat all I've just said. Then we come into this month. The people rising up over the oppressor. Okay, rising up over this. Then we move into, with that energy of rising up, we then move into and finding our allies, finding the people we can coalesce with. We then move into April. April begins on the 4th, and the yang metal speaks of a revolution. This is the people now really affecting change. Now, that being said, at the same time, we're making change. The government, as it still stands, is also making radical change. So this is a revolution. It is very notable change going on. And you notice this is all March and April are eclipse season. This is going to be a very interesting thing that I think we're going to find ourselves circling back to, I believe, in the fall when we have eclipse season again. The dragon speaks of, where are we? Oh, that's so interesting. The dragon is yang earth. It's a revolution as we re-identify with ourselves. What does it mean to be an American? It's a bit of an identity crisis. It's us trying to hold on to our identity as Americans while it's being redefined for us. Wow. Tucked inside the dragon is the oppressor, our work, that bully in the playground, and the patriarchy. That's kind of like the drop the mic moment, I think, right there. Do you see how astrology tells a story? And again, this is collective. This is collective. Though, that being said, if you happen to be a yin earth person, this is your astrology. You're welcome. Yeah, there's a freebie for you you didn't see coming. Because that, let me get this in focus for you. The element of your day, that yin earth, whatever your element is for your day master, that's everything. Your whole chart is built around that element. Okay. 2027 is where we have a luck cycle change that is a yang metal monkey. That is a revolution. Now that's going to be going into the 3rd year, 2025, 2026, 2027. That is going to be, I think, the tipping point, because the snake into the year of the horse into our luck cycle change is an arc. And this is huge. We needed this to happen. I know. Sometimes radical change, as shocking as it is, as upsetting as it is needed in order to grow. Yeah. So before we get to that revolutionary pulse of 2027 that is going to be that 10 years. If you ask me, I think that 2027 to 2037 is our renaissance. It is where we are going to see the mettle of this country. Our talents, our ability, our passion as a nation to rise up and innovate into a new government, a new way of being governed, and a new way of being Americans. I think that's what's coming. And the Renaissance, I think, is an opportunity. All right, before we get there, bringing it back. Next year is a Yang Fire horse. It is all about this, the narrative of next year. And I'm mentioning this so that you can understand the journey. I'm kind of giving you the destination, right? This is where we're headed to, but the course to get there is circuitous and ever-changing. Where we are going, and I could apologize that this video has gone so long, but I think it's very important. It's all about government. It is about government, and it's about those that help us. It is about faith. It is about education. It is about the services we rely on. Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, health insurance, grant funding, funding for programs, women's health, for instance. And I think that as all of that is going on, the horse is a little different. The horse is 8.75% fire and only has one smaller element, which is yin earth, 3.75%. The earth tucked inside of the horse, and all of this talk about government and all the services that we rely on, the social services for us to get along in life, tucked under that are the American people and how we are independent and sovereign and who our allies are. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. And that fire is going to be an interesting thing to see all that fire hitting our astrology collectively. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. And I hope I've jazzed you up today. I hope I've motivated you, friend, to really think outside the box of the day-to-day shitty news and really wrap your head around what is your passion, what is your cause, and put your energy there. Look away from the news. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. Don't talk about the horrors and the injustices and the whatevers, whatever your view is of what's going on. Instead of putting your energy into all of that, put it into something that is progressive, needed change. Be a part of the Renaissance. We can start even now in the midst of the dismantling of our government and our Constitution. Even now is the time to start. And I'm excited to see what we're all going to be as we move forward. Thank you so, so much. I take a big, big breath. Peace to us all. And until I see you again, please be well.